Let us go back to that scorching day of August in 79 AD, to the moment when Mount Vesuvius unleashed its fury. The city of Herculaneum was engulfed by a pyroclastic flow that reached 500 degrees within just seconds. It was a wave of lava and gas moving at the speed of a race car, instantly carbonizing everything in its path. In the library of a magnificent villa believed to have belonged to Julius Caesar's father-in-law, thousands of papyrus scrolls were found. This sudden heat wave, occurring in an oxygen-free environment, did not destroy them. Instead, it preserved them by turning them into charcoal briquettes. For 1,700 years, these black scrolls waited to be discovered beneath a 20-meter-thick layer of hardened rock. When workers found them in the 18th century, not realizing what they were, they threw some of them into the fire, thinking they were firewood. Attempts to study the remaining ones ended in complete disaster. Trying to unroll the scrolls by hand did nothing but turn them into dust. However, a revolution occurred in 2023. Artificial intelligence analyzed high-resolution scans obtained from a particle accelerator, synchrotron. The first word to appear on a computer screen after 2,000 years was porphyros, purple. The text that followed belonged to a philosopher discussing food. In 1947, in the dusty caves of the Judean desert, a young Bedouin shepherd searching for his lost goat threw a stone into a rock crevice. With the sound of a breaking jar, he made one of the most important discoveries in human history, the Dead Sea Scrolls. They were the oldest known texts of the Bible and were like a giant puzzle broken into thousands of tiny fragments. Experts spent 70 years of their lives trying to piece together more than 10,000 fragments. However, the real mystery lay in the hands that had written those letters onto the parchment. The massive Isaiah scroll, measuring 7 meters in length, appeared so flawless that it seemed to have been produced by a single hand. For decades, experts said, "This is the work of a single master who devoted his life to this craft." However, researchers at the University of Groningen had artificial intelligence analyze every single Aleph letter in this scroll. By examining more than 5,000 samples, the AI focused on details the human eye would miss: millimetric variations in pen pressure and subtle hand tremors. Artificial intelligence revealed a shocking truth. Right in the middle of the scroll, at column 27, the biometric signature changed. The second scribe had imitated the first one's style so perfectly that this discovery proved how individual ego was dissolved within the sacred text. 2,000 years ago, there existed a vast superpower as strong as Rome and China, controlling the Silk Road, the Kushan Empire. However, when this vast civilization withdrew from the stage of history, their languages were buried beneath the sands along with them. Since the 1950s, archaeologists had been finding strange inscriptions on rocks in Afghanistan and Tajikistan that resembled Greek letters but did not match any known language. For linguists, this was a complete nightmare that lasted 70 years. There was no Rosetta Stone available to compare the text with. In 2023, researchers tested modern artificial intelligence's pattern recognition capability on these mute stones. By scanning thousands of different short inscriptions in seconds, the AI analyzed recurring sequences of characters and their contexts. Operating much like a modern codebreaker, the AI finally detected a pattern: the title King of Kings. Artificial intelligence determined that the characters next to this title corresponded to the name Vemataktu. With the help of AI, about 60% of this lost language, Itaeo-Tocharian, once spoken by millions of people, was deciphered. Artificial intelligence managed to recover a torn page of history and place it back where it belonged, right in the middle of the book. When you look down from above at the dry and lifeless Nazca Plateau in Peru, you see gigantic 50-meter spiders and birds the size of football fields. These enormous shapes, accidentally noticed by a pilot in 1927, sparked years of debate. Were they alien runways or a message sent to the gods? The human eye believed it had found everything on this plateau until artificial intelligence came into play. Researchers from IBM and Yamagata University fed artificial intelligence with thousands of satellite images and millimeter precision LiDAR data. By analyzing areas that the human eye had dismissed as soil erosion or random lines, the AI discovered hundreds of new geoglyphs. However, these new figures were far more unsettling than the familiar depictions of cute animals. A killer whale holding a knife and strange humanoids with square heads. Terrifying scenes came to light, including massive silhouettes holding severed human heads. This discovery by artificial intelligence fundamentally changed the mystery of the Nazca Lines. It was noticed that most of the figures were located along the edges of pathways and hillsides. This decipherment proved that the lines were not made for the gods in the sky, but instead served as traffic signs or route guides for travelers walking along the harsh paths of the desert. Artificial intelligence transformed a mystical legend into the practical engineering achievement of an advanced society struggling for survival. The 5,000-year-old clay tablets of Mesopotamia are the oldest bricks of humanity's memory. Fires that destroyed cities baked these tablets, turning them into eternal bricks that would endure for thousands of years. However, in the basements of museums around the world, there are hundreds of thousands of tablets waiting to be read. The number of experts who can read this complex cuneiform script is even smaller than the number of astronauts in the world. Humanity was expecting to find great prophecies, magical formulas, or the secrets of the Anunnaki within these tablets. However, when artificial intelligence was turned into a kind of Google Translate for cuneiform, the truth came to light. Using algorithms that reconstruct broken and incomplete tablets, the AI began translating them within seconds. The result was both amusing and incredibly human. 90% of the tablets turned out to be an ancient Twitter feed. Thanks to AI, we were able to read angry complaint letters written 5,000 years ago to a merchant who sold poor-quality copper, as well as ordinary shopping lists. Artificial intelligence erased the 5,000-year gap of time, showing that ancient people loved and argued just like we do. This book, discovered in 1912 by the antiquarian Wilfred Voynich, is history's greatest unsolved case. Unknown plants, women bathing in green pools, and a strange script that matches no known alphabet in the world. Even brilliant code breakers like Alan Turing and the FBI's best cryptographers gave up in the face of this book. Many people argued that the book was merely a medieval hoax. However, artificial intelligence approached this book as a mathematical pattern. When the AI analyzed the text's entropy, its level of randomness, and linguistic structure, it produced a surprising result. This was not meaningless scribbling. The text possessed the complex and consistent structure of a real language. Moreover, the AI determined with an 80% probability that this book uses a Hebrew-based encryption system. Although artificial intelligence has not fully opened the door to the world's most mysterious book, it has given us the digital lockpick that may eventually break it open. The Voynich manuscript is no longer an indecipherable absurdity, but rather a document waiting for the correct key to be fully turned. What these 6 great messages we have seen today truly prove is one thing. History is not something static, confined to dusty books. It is a living memory, constantly waiting to be rediscovered. Thanks to artificial intelligence, we no longer walk merely in the shadow of the past. We can now hear their voices directly. Perhaps 5,000 years from now, an entirely different form of intelligence will be trying to decipher the simple message you send to someone today as an ancient mystery. Value knowledge and never stop listening to what the past whispers to us. Because we are not only building the future, with each passing day, we are also remembering a forgotten past. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay with us on this digital journey through time. See you in the next mystery.